Okay, so the first thing I want to touch on really quick, because the questions still keep coming in a very, very large format. And so I just want to give you an update. I sat through a meeting the other day, very, very long meeting, but I sat through it. And it was an update on shipping and what's going on with the factory and what they're doing to fix it. I just want to give you a quick update because I don't necessarily give you guys every single bit and piece of it, but I know that you get frustrated when things don't go the way that you want them to. And if you don't understand the bigger picture, sometimes it's hard to understand what's going on. So just so you know, our factory has added 200 plus workers to the factory. I think we were at like 600 and some before. I can't remember the exact amount, but they've added. So if you think about how many they had versus what they've added, like a whole nother quarter of people almost. So you're welcome. I do sit through really long meetings that are boring, but this information is really important. They've added 200 more people, and I want to just give you a piece of information on how that works. So think about COVID. COVID is impacting everything. They have had now 6 cases of COVID at our factory. So just so you know, it's kind of terrifying, but not terrifying. They've done a great job of isolating, and it has not, those people have gone home, self-isolated and whatever, been treated, and they've all come back. We're okay. They haven't infected the whole factory. That is huge, just so you know, because if the workers all get COVID, this whole thing goes down. So we have to be really that it's a huge testament to what they're doing to keep everybody safe. So they had a professional company come in and clean the entire factory, like an external company, and then spray those mister thingies of, like, you've seen them if you've watched like an Amazon commercial of what they've done. And there's like mister thingies spraying in the factory. They went and bought all those same mister machines, and they're spraying those all over as well now too. So they're now spraying them. They've divided the factory into quadrants, and when you come in, you have to stay in your quadrant. You can only use the restroom in your quadrant. There's all this, like, you'd have to stay at least 6 feet from everybody. There's all these rules. And then even in, like, when they go to breaks, they can only go on breaks and sessions, and they've got those like plexiglass things that go like that, like, so that when you sit at a table or whatever, you're in a quarantine space. They're doing everything, temperature checks, all of the things. They've added, I think I told you guys this before, but they've added a 3rd shift, so they're now working through the night. The only reason we're even still able to work at 100%, and we're actually working at more than that, is that they worked really, really hard on a special letter and got it sent to the government and got approved to be a essential business. Because if they weren't approved of that, we wouldn't even be able to run at full speed. We're able to run at full speed as long as we continue to do all these things and keep everybody safe. And they're doing a really, really good job of keeping everybody safe. The fact that 6 people that were workers have gotten it and it didn't spread is fantastic. That means they're doing the right things. I don't think they got it at work. I think they had it or tested positive. So anyway, all that said, I want you to understand what's going on in the back. I also want you to understand the volume. So I just told you guys that we sold 3.7 million, correct? So that's just Rock On. Rock On sold 3.7 million in the month of July. 2019, Rock On sold 794,000. So I'd like you to just take for a second and take that in. 794,000, 3.7 million in a year. That's the sheer volume of our increase, and that's a fantastic increase. That's due to all of you and all your amazing hard work and all of that. Tupperware in general has also upped, I don't know, 400% or some crazy thing like that, right? So you have to think about the production of what that's doing to the factory, right? Like, that's like 4 times the amount of orders that are coming through. Second is, last year this time, we still had a lot of home parties going on. Now, because of COVID, everything is on Facebook, and every single order is being direct shipped. Hardly anybody is shipping things to a host. We do have more factories, Lindsay. Everything is being shipped to a host. So, or it used to be that, like, if you had a home party, we would ship most everything to the host, and then we just direct ship 1 or 2 orders. The thing is that now every single order is being direct shipped. So maybe a party that 10 people ordered and we shipped it all in 1 box last year may be 10 different boxes all going out to 10 different people. So even now, the same sales, let's say it was only 794,000, it would still be massive more work on the factory because every single person was direct shipping. So to just give you a perspective on, I just want you to understand what we've done to the factory. So you understand. Okay, we have more factories. We have factories all over the world. We're in the process, but because of COVID and borders and things, things aren't coming in as fast as they should too. Not everything's made at our factory. Some things are made at different factories. Like all the silicone is made at the factory in Belgium because those require a special machine, and all the special machines are in Belgium. So all the silicone stuff, like the wobbly purple stuff, has to come from Belgium to Hemingway to get packed up to get sent out, which when borders and things and shipping from other places is slow, that slows down what comes to us. But cookware is made at a different factory, which is part of why it's back ordered. So anyway, I'm not giving you excuses. I want you to understand what's happened. Now I want to tell you that they're doing some amazing, amazing things to work on getting it fixed. We have a factory in Mexico. Just happens to be, there's some materials that we that are prevalent in some of our products that are easy to find in Mexico. So where we build our factories, just so you guys know, we build our factories not where labor is cheap, because it doesn't matter labor. We own our own factories. We don't have any child, sweat shops. We don't have any of that stuff. We own our own factories, and all of the factory people that work are all our employees, and everybody is taken well care of and has benefits and safe and all that stuff. So, but we do build factories where materials are prevalent. So if a particular type of material that we use a lot in products is real prevalent, that's when we might have put a factory somewhere near there because it's easier to get the materials. Also, where borders are easier to cross. Like the French border is really painful to cross and super high tax. So where they build a border with regards to that was kind of important for getting products to France, let's just say. Hemingway isn't even, I don't even remember how many factories we have, but Hemingway is just one. Anyway, that just happens to be the one that's in the US. Because we're sold all over the world, so it wouldn't make any sense to make everything only in the US. So anyway, that said, I'm just trying to make sure you guys fully grasp this. I think it's really important, like it takes your anger down about 15 notches if you understand. The plant in Mexico has just been a plant. It produces things, it has machines just like our one in Hemingway. It's just been producing. Because it's been so crazy, they're actually shipping right now. There's 2 big distribution machines being shipped to them, and they're building a small distribution center in the plant in Mexico so that they can, some of the products that they're making in Mexico for us, some of those products are going to ship straight out of Mexico directly to the customer to try to offload them coming, waiting for them to come all the way to Hemingway to get repacked to ship out. Does that make sense? So that's one of the things that they're working on. Now, you can't just build a distribution center in 2 seconds. Nothing like this happens in 2 seconds. Second is it requires a whole bunch of IT and background and coding, and the back-end system has to be fixed so that it's coded properly to pull things from orders and ship only pieces of them, and which orders and who should go to. And I think Mexico is going to get more of the West Coast distribution of people getting things because that's what's closer to Mexico versus shipping to the East Coast. So they're doing it in a way that's smart, but based on what things are coming out of Mexico too. It has to be the products that are being made in Mexico to be distributed. So anyway, I just want you guys to understand that's just one of the pieces. There's a whole bunch of pieces. I mean, I have maps and things and whatever, and I could go on for hours showing you what they're doing. We had the head of all the factories on this meeting and explained it all to us. It was really interesting. Second piece of that, just so you know, the Tupperware US and Canada run, even though we're the US and they're Canada, we're run by Peter and run all in out of Orlando, or like headquartered there. And Canada had more issues with being, I don't remember if they weren't deemed, I don't remember, they told us, but I don't remember the exact part of this, but I'm not sure if they weren't deemed essential or they have a plant in Laval, and that something to do with their, a distribution center in Laval. It's not a plant. The distribution center got to where they could only have X number of workers or something. So Hemingway had to take on a big, huge chunk of what was going on for Canada in distribution and shipping straight to customers out of Hemingway that they weren't either. So all of these things have caused backlogs. So anyway, listen, guys, I love you, but if you guys are going to complain on chat, I'm going to turn the chat off. So I love you, but that's not what chat's for. So if that's what's going to happen, I'm just going to disable it. So I'd love to hear what you have to say, but I'm giving you the best explanation I can, but we're staying positive on this meeting. All right. So I'm just telling you what has happened, and COVID has had a huge effect on everything. But the good news is they are doing all the right things to fix it. And it's a little bit like when you take everything out of your office and decide to clean and reorganize it, you make a huge mess while you purge and then put it all back up again, and it looks beautiful when you're done. So that's where they're at, right? The second they've just pulled it all out and made a big mess and it's all going back up in there, and it's going to be beautiful. And they were showing us how it's all working on being fixed, and you're going to start seeing production of things faster. So the picture that I saw a week ago, there was 28 trucks sitting in the yard at Hemingway full of product that were there that they just hadn't gotten unloaded. That's how backed up they were to get them loaded, to get them off to you guys. But I got an update. What's today? Today is Saturday. I got an update on Thursday that they finally have all the modular mates in Hemingway to ship everything out. So the only little bit of a delay was the 10-piece sets require assembly. So it's just taking a few days to assemble the 10-piece sets because they didn't come assembled. So somebody manually has to take and put all the pieces together so you have a manual, so you have the 10-piece set, but they have the product finally at Hemingway. So they have enough modular mates to get all the back orders out, and they're going out right now. It's just that it's not going out quite as fast as they want, just because of the 4-piece sets are going out faster than the 10-piece, just because of being assembled. But they said they thought that all of the back order modular mates, they were hoping to have them shipped out in the next 10 to 12 days. So anyway, note to self, the MicroPro grills were in stock, and all the silicone rings were in stock. So all that stuff's going off too. They have enough of all the Alfresca sets too. So those are all going out as well. So all these things are happening. And I guess I just wanted you to, I know I'm taking a little bit of time to give you all this information, but it matters to me that you understand. So no, there was a modular mate sale candy that had, I think it was a 4-piece set, maybe it was a 5-piece set. There was a 1-week only sale, and then there was the 10-piece hostess set. So there's different sets, and each one requires configuration. So I'm not going to go on and on about this anymore. Then I just want you to understand. I know you have angry customers. I know people that don't understand. I know you have all those things, and I'm sorry you have to deal with them. I have talked to no less than at least 100 of some of these angry customers, and they've escalated to the point of craziness, and tried to help. I'm not always able to help, and I'm doing the best I can. But stuff is kicking out, and you should start seeing things clear up that have been crazy back ordered real fast. So anyway, and I know we had an add-on problem with all of that because the tracking went crazy for a while and we couldn't see it. So that added to all of the frustrations that we couldn't see what was going on. But the tracking's fixed, the back order stuff, all of those products are there and they're kicking them out. The FridgeSmart has a slight delay, just not back ordered, but a slight delay because of production. Just because we sold, they put them back on the machine and they're kicking them out again. They make FridgeSmart in Hemingway at that factory. So, so they said there was a slight delay on FridgeSmart just because of sheer quantity of sales, because we're that amazing. But it's not that long of a delay, just a little bit. So they were kicking them out fast at the very beginning, and I think they just ran out. So they turned them back on the machine and they're kicking out more. So anyway, I am not going to go into any more on that. I'm going to tell you to watch the updates. And when they give you an update, they're trying to give you the worst case scenario. So sometimes it goes out faster than that. I just want you to know, I felt like if you guys had a little bit better understanding of what was going on and know that they know it's not acceptable for stuff to take 6 to 8 weeks. They don't want it to take 6 to 8 weeks. They're putting hundreds of thousands of dollars into this, I promise. And while it may seem like, well, we're making millions, why aren't we doing all of these things? You should know that our shipping and production costs are higher than they've ever been. So yeah, we're making lots because we're selling lots, but when the way that we're having to ship out and every single person's getting a box and our actual shipping and production costs are higher than they've ever been, which cuts down on the profit in that scenario. So I know that, I just want you to understand, that's all. I'm not trying to, anyway. So that's the gist of it all. I'm not going to go into shipping any more than that, but I do felt like you just needed to transparently hear from me the information that I know so that you can at least take a moment and, you know, everything takes a little time. Okay, so we're going to move on.